Okay, quick video. Evening prayer is uploading now, but I just found this. So I've got to tell you guys about this. This is I keep digging more and more because like 2019 was interesting. There was a lot of stuff going on in 2019, but I keep digging more and more and more into what we're seeing now because what we're seeing now stands out far above and beyond anything we saw in 2019. So many more connections and arrows pointing to what we're seeing. So I did the video as a supplemental video to Watchman with 65's video. And here's the article. So you guys can go back to that video that I did this morning. Was it this morning? I think it was this morning. And check that out. And there's links to this article. There's links to these calendars. Well, I got to messing around a little bit here, and I was like, why is there so much of this? Why so much of this? Everybody's seeing Purim. Why is so much of this important? Well, I started looking at the conjunctions as what's important about the conjunctions. There's not just one conjunction happening of the Venus and Pleiades. There's several, and they're being watched by the SOHO telescope because they're rare events. Now the Venus and Pleiades, the one we're going to see this year, we're going to see it in April 3rd. It's actually going to last a couple of days. That one is a 203-year event. But check out what I found. So I'm looking at Purim, and I'm like, okay, where everybody's getting the feeling rapture on Purim. Well, we see a lot of scriptures that talk about the feasting, drunk at night, that kind of stuff. And then then when you read those, it talks about the rapture right after that. That makes sense on Purim because the celebration on Purim is the command goes out for all the Jews to get drunk. And then they have a Day of the Dead type ceremony where all dress up like zombies the next day. God's roadmap to the end just put up a video, and that's what started my thinking about this. He talks about how, looking at the iPet goat thing, how there's a party, but that's interrupted by the resurrection of the dead. We know the rapture is a resurrection of the dead, right? Okay, so I thought, okay, so from this, what makes this significant? Well, Purim, March 10th. Now, I didn't look and see where Venus was going to be. We know Venus is called the morning star. Stay with me. I hope this makes sense. Venus is called the morning star. Jesus in the book of Revelation refers to himself as the morning star. He says he has the 7 churches, the 7 stars in his hand. That's Pleiades. There's only one star constellation that matches this. Venus has always been called the morning star for thousands of years, thousands and thousands of years. Okay. So, I don't know, like I said, I don't know where Venus will be on Purim. I should probably look at that. But the conjunction is April 3rd. After that, there's a super conjunction on May 24th. And it's called the super conjunction of Venus occurs. This is when Venus, the Sun, and the Pleiades star system form a triangle that will be visible and monitored by SOHO. The Sun, God. Venus, Jesus. Pleiades, the Holy Spirit. That's the triune. That's the Trinity. So, if the rapture happens on Purim, the rapture is going to happen on Purim. We're going to meet Jesus on the March 10th. We meet Jesus in the clouds on April 3rd. He holding us in his hand and takes us to go meet the Father on May 24th. How many more arrows do we need to point to this to tell us what's going? We're seeing the story playing out in the sky right now. Now, again, I can't set a date, but wow. Look how, and every day it's more and more stuff that links to this. More and more things that tie this together. Hey, we may not get raptured on Purim. I have no idea. I'll tell you one thing, though. When you see this much stuff pointing to one specific time frame, March, April, May time frame, and we've all been getting different dreams and revelations about March, April, May time frame, well, evidently something's up. Now look at what else I found out. Well, I stumbled across. Where's it at? So, Purim, March 10th, there it is. The conjunction is April 3rd. What happens right after the conjunction? Passover, April 9th and 10th. Then the super conjunction on May 24th. What happens right after the super conjunction? Shavuot, May 29th, the Festival of Weeks. I don't know, guys. Just spitballing here. But I think we're seeing more evidence that's pointing us to this time frame. So if you haven't watched God's Roadmap to the End video, his latest video, I'm going to link it in the description. Go watch it. It's pretty interesting. He's actually found a lot of stuff. And it turns out it looks like this I Pet Goat thing. I don't know who made it. I've never seen it. There's a lot of hints in there. And so far it's been matching. Pretty darn close. So, like the one real cool thing he found was when you turn the sound off, there's a part where this girl's laying on the ground, and it looks like he's like a Satan type character. And when you turn the sound off, it looks like when you read his lips, he's saying Brexit. And then they show her, and she opens her eyes, and you see a reflection in her eyes of a market crash. Well, we just had Brexit, and now we're having a market crash. I don't know. Just pointing these things out, because the more we see, the more we start to, wait a minute, something's making a lot of sense here. And we've never had this kind of alignment last year at all. Never. Oh, and there's a super worm moon too popping in here. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, here's a super worm moon, March 9th. March 10th is Purim. April 3rd is the conjunction of Venus and the Pleiades. April 7th is a pink supermoon. Then May 24th is a superior conjunction. Well, May 7th there's going to be another full moon that month, a flower moon. And this year has 13 full moons because there's a blue moon also. There's 2 full moons in October, a harvest and a blue moon. No, I thought there was one last year. Okay, so anyway, yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. I'm digging more and more into this. I've been looking at the names of the stars in Pleiades and looking at the 7 churches and how they link up. There's a lot of similarities. I was looking at the story in Exodus 2 where Moses helped the 7 shepherd girls, the 7 sisters, herding the sheep. Just saying, y'all. A lot of stuff linking to this. A lot of stuff. Okay, just want to throw that on real quick. Like I said, evening prayer is uploading, and it should be up by 8:30. The more of this stuff I find, the more I'm just like, finally, we get to get out of here. But who knows? This is on God's clock, not ours. But we're going to keep watching. We're going to keep watching. All right, love you guys. See you in the next one.